Okay, so we got Mariposa says the Latinos are the best. All right. You guys are not looking like it with this whole Venezuela migrant thing, but yeah, it's not looking like your countries are hitting for nothing. But let's check out what Fort Boss Me says. It's called burglary, Brighton Park, multiple locations. Let's see what he's got to say.
Good morning, guys. Yesterday morning, from like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning until about 7 o'clock, there were multiple break-ins in the Brighton Park area. That is the area where they were building the migrant camp, but the EPA shut it down and said it wasn't safe for them to um, build in that area because the ground was contaminated.
I'm glad he wiped his mustache because it was like some little crap right there with some little crud. It was ugh. But yeah, let's keep going.
I don't know if this is like in response to that, people are starting to break into garages and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on. It started yesterday about 3 o'clock in the morning, and several homes were broke into. And I happen to know two of the people that there were intruders in their yard and their property. The first location, a scooter got stolen out of it. They eventually did make it inside the garage,
Mm.
and the second location, they could not get inside the garage and didn't steal anything, but they attempted to. And here's the video footage.
All right, so what we got. That's a migrant walk right there. They ain't how no black dude walk. That's a migrant walk right there. Let's go. I'm gonna walk right here looking for the chicharrones.
This guy right here is wearing something that should be pretty easy to spot with that red jacket and
Oh
the
man.
black and white. I don't know. At first, I thought they looked like they were Jordans, but maybe not.
No, those are definitely Jordans. Those are them. That's them Jordans. That's the ones that people for some reason they respect them, but they're like kind of teamish a little bit. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Them Jordans that dude had on right there. But oh, Carlton West said off target with grind. Did you hear Deontay Wilder will be fighting Anthony Joshua on March 9th? Oh yeah, that's gonna be great, man. Twitter's about to be lit. Twitter's about to be lit, man. Mariposa said that's his cousin Roberto though. Yeah, man. But so and Brighton Park is mostly white folks. And I think Blacklight had talked about it on his undocumented bros series. Brighton Park is a bunch of Asian folks. And basically all the immigrants from around the world came to stay in Brighton Park, and a few white people. But yeah, so this guy right here, he's got on his team Jordans, and he's causing issues. And I don't really understand why you travel all the way up. I don't know, goddamn, how many countries? 10 countries y'all passed over just to come up here and steal? That doesn't make sense to me. It's very stupid. Very stupid. I mean, and I think that this also speaks to Joe Biden and them and the Democrats. Is like you guys are bit off more than you can chew. If these guys are at the point where they have to steal, then it's time to send them back. First off, y'all shouldn't be giving them a free ride anyway. You guys are up here, y'all flew them out, paying their rent, all this kind of stuff, giving them food, giving them shelter, and all this kind of stuff. While y'all got black people just sitting out here in droves looking stupid. But now, you got these boys stealing because you couldn't foot the bill for everybody. And it's stupid, but let's go.
Um, you should be able to. I bet you he wears that jacket and those shoes every single day,
Ha.
especially being wintertime. And if he's an immigrant, that might be the only thing. If he's one of these new illegals that's here, that's been breaking into the cars and the garages and everything, looking for tools and things to eat, things to sell, you might find that he might be standing over at the Home Depot or something like that.
Mm.
Probably could easily be spotted.
Man, so them boys standing at the whole depot no matter what the city is, huh? What's good, PD Chicago, man? Shout out to everybody that's in the chat too, man. I said what's going on earlier, but I was having some technological illiterate issues. So yeah, but I'm what's good with everybody? But yeah, man, it sounded like they do the same thing in every city, man. They stand out front of the Home Depot looking for that work. Well, let's go, cause this dude just said it, so I just thought about it. But let's go.
Who knows?
All right, he's gonna be quiet. Okay. So that means these boys ain't came here to work. That means he's been sitting up casing the place the whole time. He's been seeing their patterns and all that kind of stuff because he's up here and nobody's giving him any pushback. There's nobody that came outside sounding the alarm or nothing. So that means he's been scoping these people out this whole time. And now he's like, I'm going to steal from them. Get the dinero. I'm going to get the dinero from them. So that means, yeah, you ain't came to work, bro. You came to commit crime. And then shout out to TD Hip Hop Media. He said several of these guys have committed crimes and they've not been arrested. They've not been sent back. And that's crazy. You haven't even been arrested. I mean, I guess they take you in initially and then they start the whole, legal process or something, which is really idiotic. You commit a crime and now you go and we're going to start trying to make you a legal citizen. But yeah, they let them right back out to the streets and let them roam free, which is idiotic in my opinion. But let's go.
I don't know what to tell you other than to be very careful. Keep your protection nearby because it's only a matter of time before people start trying to break into your homes if they don't start getting jobs and places and things to eat and stuff like that, other than just standing in the Home Depot parking lot looking for work. I can tell you right now that some of these people are not very nice. Some of, if you would have been a Venezuelan, Colombian, South American like a year ago, that was a completely different crowd than what we're seeing today. The people that we're seeing today, they have it just seems like they have very little work ethic at all, and they're looking for gimme, gimme, gimme. And if you don't give me, I'm going to take. There's been so many incidences now at locations where they're congregating and stuff looking for work where they don't quite get what they need, or just a few dollars to help people load their groceries and stuff, or whatever items they bought from the store is not enough. They get disrespectful. They vandalize somebody's car. They break into the cars in the parking lot while people are inside shopping. Um, yeah, so just be very careful. This has been a
Bro, the anger I would have would be outlandish if we had we had a whole migrant crisis in our city, and then I know they out there at Home Depot, they out there at the grocery stores and stuff looking for grocery loading work, and if they can't get no grocery loading work, they break into your car. That's some bullshit right there, bro. They send these folks back, bro, for real, man. Yeah, let's get it.
huge issue going on here lately, and it's only going to get worse the colder it gets, and people become more desperate. So be very careful, guys. Take care.
All right, that was old Fort Boss me right there. Let's check out the next one. Let's go on and check out the next one. So you see what he's saying right there. It's looking bleak out there in Chicago, man, especially with that wintertime coming up. He said them folks is in the parking lot begging to load your groceries up. And if you ain't paying them enough money, they get disrespectful. They vandalize your car and they break on in there. It's ugly. Real ugly, man. All fault of Joe Biden, man. Let's check this video out right here though. And this is a Venezuelan immigrant. I regret having to come to the United States. Let's see what she's talking about.
Yes, I regret moving to the US.
4 months ago, this 19-year-old
I see the thought sandals. They know no bounds. They got the same thought sandals all over the world, huh? Everybody got the little fur with the anklet and typical thought sandals. But let's get it.
Venezuelan migrant arrived in Washington on one of the initial 120 buses sent by Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott. Abbott launched the program in April to protest Democrat President Joe Biden's immigration policies. He chartered buses to
Well, Mariposa looks like you guys are gonna get the blame now. They also don't tend to highlight the whites and the Mexicans' crimes out there because there was a video I did actually recently where the Mexicans were going crazy. The Mexicans was going crazy. They was out there like, oh yeah, this is the largest gang. Latin Kings is the largest gang in Chicago, the most dangerous gang in Chicago. So Mariposa looks like you got to take the L. You got to take the L, Holmes. You got to take the L, Holmes. PD Chicago say that. The sex survivalist sandals. Oh man, that's what they look like, huh? That's what they are. Let's get it.
Sent recently arrived migrants from the southern border to Washington. Another Republican governor, Arizona's Doug Ducey, followed Abbott's lead. In May, he also began sending migrants to the nation's capital. At the DC bus station back in April, Rosa, which is not her real name, told VOA about her plans.
Work, start fulfilling my dreams, my goals that I have here.
Rosa and her partner.
So this joker already trying to finesse the system. You see, they got a baby already. They trying to go and make sure they had that baby up here so they can make it an anchor baby, and then now the baby's a citizen for no reason, and now they can kind of finesse their way into the system too, which is I just don't like it. I don't like it. I guess I could be on some everybody in chat now, but yeah, I just don't like it when it's done wrong. Let's get it.
Journey to reach the United States was difficult. 4 times during their migration, Rosa thought she was going to lose her baby. The couple crossed the mountainous and dangerous Darien Gap jungle in Colombia, and then 9 countries to face a complex immigration process in the United
States. These jokers jumped 9 countries. This shows like, okay, so at the same time it shows like you're not lazy, but it shows hella lazy at the same time. You jumped 9 countries to go to the United States because you thought they was giving out monies and free housing and all that kind of stuff. You was just gonna get an easy ride. You jumped over all of these countries that are closer to your culture. They speak the same language just to be at the United States. Stupid. But yeah, man, I like I was talking about in Black Light's undocumented role series. There should be like some type of punishment put down on Mexico and all these other countries that are allowing this. Like you're just allowing a free for all, like you're just allowing a big mess to occur in the United States. But let's get it.
United States.
It's not what I thought. The lawyer charges you $10,000 to work with you on an asylum case, then 10 years to be able to leave the country. I don't have a
Them jokers is crossing them booty shorts, man. Booty shorts and thought sandals, or as PD said, the triple S sandals. Man, and this dude right here, he needed some proactive. You didn't did all that crossing and you ain't got your seeing clear. How that happen, man? You ain't been able to eat nothing for real, so you should have a clean, crisp body. You should have been fasting, but your skin out here looking horrible. Let's go.
Passport. If you don't have a passport here, you're nobody.
The couple says they are battling a legal system they were not prepared to face.
Yes, I regret having come to the United States. Everyone thinks that once you arrive in the country, you will see buildings like the ones in New York City.
Well, you need to go back then. They're giving out free flights. Go ahead and go back. There's no need for you to be here. But you know why, though? Because she's trying to have that baby, like I said. She's trying to have that baby here and finesse the system.
While some migrants might regret their migration decision, Border Patrol officers say they encountered 207,416 migrants along the southwest border, a 14% drop from May. Of those, 92,200.
That's crazy. So 207,000 is a 14% drop. So that means it was a lot of them out here. I mean, I ain't doing the math, but it was a lot more than that. That's crazy.
174 people were immediately expelled from the United States under a health order named Title 42.
Una cosa es que yo lo cuente.
They think this is the American dream, but it's a dream that, in reality, if something were to happen to me here, this dream was not worth it.
Rosa and her partner are required to check in weekly with U.S. immigration officials through a smartphone application. They hope to apply for asylum. In the meantime, they await the birth of their daughter. For VOA News, I'm Malini Barros.
So the United States is just going to allow this. They're just like, oh, you can have your kid here, goddamn. You can have a kid here. That sounds good. You can have a kid here. The kid can be a citizen, but y'all goddamn, we going to figure it out. Black Light said they got the poison frog. The poison frog. Lawrence Carnal said that pure corn diet. Oh man. Because they say corn doesn't really have a place to go into your body. So so the corn just went through his face, through his skin, and just bumped him. It bumped him out. Cause you know when you eat like corn on the cob, it just come out straight corn. Oh man, the battle toll. the battle the battle tolls got him, bro. Oh man. Let's check out this next one, man. This next one is by Philip Scott now. And it's talking about the I guess one of the NCAA people actually in the NAACP people actually came out and was on cold or something, and they got caught, and then now they getting talked down on. But let's go and check it out, man. You see the title right here: Illinois NAACP, Teresa Haley caught disparaging migrants. Mayor Brandon Johnson, Bussy Johnson. I don't know what the rest of it says, but yeah, let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head back to Chicago. Been some new developments out of Chicago, definitely with the Illinois chapter of the NAACP. So in this first development, Illinois NAACP, leader Teresa Haley. I want you to hear, what they caught her saying on Zoom, about the migrants. Teresa is very frustrated about all the migrants coming to Chicago, but let's check out what she said here.
Once you agree to take that funding.
In a recent Zoom call meeting with NAACP leaders from around the state, Illinois President Teresa Haley is answering a question from a participant when she begins talking about all the migrants coming to Chicago and how they are living on the streets, and that Black people have been in similar predicaments for a long time and no one cares.
But these immigrants have come over here. They've been raping people. They've been breaking into homes. They're like savages as well. They don't.
So they're mad that the NAACP is doing what the NAACP was initially intended to do, to help Black people, to speak for Black people. But they, I guess all them folks up there's on there. Everybody in chat now. Everybody in chat now. Let's go. But yeah, man. Also, what she said too about there's been Black people out here all this whole time, and you worried about the migrants and everything. Like, I feel like all these people that's on that everybody need a chance now type stuff, you're fake. All of y'all are fake, bro. All y'all talking about, oh yeah, I'm not talking about anybody obviously in here, but I mean, you're fake. If you sit up talking about, hey, everybody need to chat now, when you've been watching Black folks starve and struggle on the streets, you got whole families out here struggling. You got like dads and all them staying with, by themselves because they can't be in the shelters and all that kind of stuff. And then you got sometimes the family just thugs it out. So you got the kid out there in the cold with the wife and the dad. So yeah, man, you're fake as a bit. If anybody that ends up coming in this thing late and you want to know everybody in the chat now type of folks, you're fake. You're fake. All this stuff been going on all this whole time, disproportionately to us. And now you want to talk about, hey, everybody in the chat now. Let's go.
Don't speak the language, and they look at us like we were crazy.
Governor J.B. Pritzker today denouncing those comments.
Reprehensible remarks. I would hope that she would apologize for the remarks. I also think that people should recognize that immigrants to this country are all around us.
Haley,
bro, was that J.B. Pritzker right there? He looked like shit. I thought he was like a thinner dude. He looked like pure D shit. Like he been eating Polish hot dogs. He been at Jim's Original. Let's go.
By phone while on vacation in Dubai, denied making the comments, but when confronted about them being on video, suggested it was a fake, saying, with AI, anything is possible. Childress also claims Haley's comments were taken out of context.
These comments are not indicative of what the NAACP stands for. But again, I'm not going to speak on.
So maybe actually I got it wrong. NAACP, was it a national advancement of colored people? It should be changed to Black people. And shout out to Vega, and shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. If y'all couldn't hear me, I said what's up earlier. But yeah. So this dude's on the everybody need to chant now. Everybody need to chant now, like Carlton Way said, man. He's our brother. Everybody need to chant now. And he said this is not what the NAACP was meant for. it was meant for everybody need a chance now. Basically what he's saying. Let's go.
On behalf of Teresa Haley and say she should or shouldn't resign or things like that.
Now, what Teresa said with this situation, I'm not laughing at her comment about the migrants. I'm kind of laughing at what she said about AI. I say, boy, that's going to be the new thing everybody's saying. It ain't me. That's AI. That's deep fake. I don't know what you're talking about. You know how the AI mimic voices. It wasn't me on the phone. That was AI. It wasn't me in that video.
Hey, that's going to be the crazy excuse in the future, man. We couldn't have all that back in our you couldn't have that, man. But now all these kids about to be getting away with that. That's the AI. That's the AI. Myra might use that, man. He get caught with his pussy spread over it. Dude, that was the AI, dude. But yeah, man, let's get it. That AI. That's gonna be a crazy excuse, and that's really what she decided to use. Oh man, everybody need a chance now. Let's go.
Video. That was an AI video. Oh, people gonna be using it all over the place, and they're gonna have to prove it's not AI because AI can't do that sort of thing these days. I'm not saying that's her case, but let me talk about that. What she said about black people being in similar conditions in Chicago and throughout America, she's 100% right. We have been in similar conditions and nobody cares. They don't care then, they don't care now. You know, Sister Vicky and I think Sister Demetra reported on black homeless people in Chicago having to sleep on the trains because they're trying to be warm. Chicago.
That's crazy work when you got to go sleep on a train just to be warm, man. Y'all been on them trains before, man, on the L train and the water train all down here in Atlanta. Them train seats are horrible. Also, shout out to Brooklyn Queen and Abdul Khalifa. Abdul says she should have doubled down like Trump because he didn't see. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, she should have doubled down. Really, I don't think she said anything wrong. It was nothing wrong with what she said. She spoke for black people, and now everybody's suddenly mad. They're all in a tizzy. But like I say, it's gonna be bad when these 3 or 4 get caught doing dirt. They're gonna have on the Triple S sandals talking about it was AI. It was AI. It was AI. It was AI. I ain't do that with AI. But let's go.
Chicago is a very, very cold city, and that wind just cut through you. Chicago is a very, very cold city, and no one should be homeless. I don't care who you are, no one, right? But let me say something to Teresa and anyone else who has a leadership position. It is not wise for us to be name calling. The reason why we should not be name calling is because it diminishes what we say. It's childish at best. And they're going to try to turn things around.
What do y'all think about what he's saying right there? So I guess the only name that she really said was, they're up here being savages and whatnot. Is that really bad, or is that just kind of what they're, what they've kind of been reduced to? What their behavior is? They've been out here savaging. What do y'all think? Let's go.
Especially on us when we start doing all the name calling. This is when you're going to start getting all the xenophobic comments and trying to lay everything about, they just some right wingers, they're this, they're that. And we are addressing a legitimate concern. So we need to stay away from the name calling and just stick to what the issues are. The issues are they're coming to your city. The issues are your leaders are giving them your resources. The issue is the Democrat Party has an open border policy. So address that.
Let me go on speed.
Stay away from that because it's not wise. We have to be always wise in all our dealings. Now, some people will probably say in the comments that they agree with her and all of that about even the name calling. Well, those people can say what they want in chats, but you have to understand when you have a platform, you have to just use a little wisdom because we can address things without doing that. Okay. But there also been another development outside of that. Another development, Mayor Brandon Johnson. Let's get into that development. So Brandon Johnson has been, going through it with the people, and rightfully so. He has not been handling this migrant crisis at all well. He still is towing the line for the Democrat Party. But recently, Mayor Brandon Johnson done something they say quietly, right? Quietly. So let's get into what Brandon Johnson has been doing. So they say Mayor Brandon Johnson's administration, they say it's quietly, begun filing lawsuits over what is described as rogue buses transporting migrants. They say an escalation the mayor has coupled with an attempt to further crack down on the transportation companies. They say the stepped up enforcement is the Johnson administration's latest effort to address the influx of new arrivals, which has begun and become one of the mayor's most vexing challenges. Say the care of more than
that doesn't even make any sense. So he's cracking down on the bus companies, but wasn't he using the bus companies to help his whole migrant takeover? I'm pretty sure like he didn't care about it beforehand. He wasn't caring a goddamn thing about it beforehand, but now he's talking about the bus. I don't get it. I don't know. Brandon Bussy Johnson, man. Sound like he's on some BS, but let's go.
24,400 migrants who arrived in Chicago since August 2022 has taken on heightened urgency as winter sets in and tested the limits of how welcoming the city can be. Now, the city has filed 55 lawsuits since it implemented new rules about when and where buses can arrive in mid-November. The law department said. They said the lawsuits address 77 total buses accused of violating the rules, and public records show at least some cases, they say, are seeking fines against the bus companies. Now, the mayor's office spokesman, Casio Mendoza, they say in the statement, characterized rogue and coordinated buses as endangering the lives of newly arriving migrants and said bus companies should be held accountable. And said Chicago continues to welcome asylum seekers, but the city cannot safely and efficiently shelter migrants when bus companies contracted by the state of Texas flagrantly violate all safety measures that the city has put in place. So you filing lawsuits against the bus companies. Okay. But you still have not gotten rid of that sanctuary city status. So basically, Brandon Johnson, you half-stepping. If you're still a sanctuary city, then what's going to stop them from coming?
So how long would it take them? Because we know the United States got a whole bunch of red tape before they start getting into the real nitty gritty of things. How long would it take for them to actually allow people to vote on or vote out the sanctuary city status thing? How long would that take? It shouldn't take that long, should it? Like maybe like a month or something like that, and they get everybody settled down, and yeah, we're gonna meet here at this place now, and everybody vote. I don't get it. I feel like if you should only be able to vote if your neighborhood is being affected by it, because so far it didn't look like these white folks ain't really getting their neighborhoods affected by it, man. We ain't heard nothing about I guess we heard about Brighton Park, but that's more immigrants than whites. But yeah, I mean, they're trying to put them in our neighborhood. Let's go.
What is it with you Democrats and this sanctuary city stuff? I don't get it, because all the constituents in your city don't want it. They don't want it. This is why I told y'all we don't live in a democracy. Because democracy says, okay, if the people don't want it, let's put it up for a vote. And we'll see, is it yes, we're going to stay a sanctuary city, or no? If it's no, it's it, because that's what the citizens want. And I'm telling you, based off of everything I'm seeing, the citizens, no matter what community they come from, do not want sanctuary city status. They do not want it whatsoever. But you know how Brandon Johnson, the Democrat, says, oh, our values this and our values that, right? So Brandon Johnson trying to so-called do something about it, but he won't fully do nothing about it. No, the first thing he was supposed to do was to say Chicago is no longer a sanctuary city. Then after you say that, then you start going after the buses, or you sue the state of Texas, or whatever you're going to sue, right? About this bus situation and the migrants coming in. Now let's continue. It said the city announced it would crack down on buses. It said mid-November laying out rules when and where the buses can drop off migrants. Buses were capped at 2 per hour. They say and limited to drop-offs between 8 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. They say the rules also require intercity buses to apply for approval from the city to drop off passengers. They say the Chicago Department of Transportation said it has not received any applications. They say the mayor's office is now seeking the ability to impound buses that don't follow the rules and fine owners up to $3,000. They say Chicago police will write the citation.
So they should just stop them from taking the buses up there, period, right? Instead of doing all these little extra rules, you 2 buses an hour now. Between the hours of 8 to 5 now, and 2 buses an hour now. What are they saying? Spotlight says if Tyler Perry was on Villainy Time, he would make a movie called Birth of a Nation of Undocumented Bros and drag them the way Birth of a Nation dragged us. This is not a winning strategy. Facts. I agree, man. Yeah, but we know Tyler Perry's more like maybe Bussy time a little bit, Bussy and Shield time, because he made that trash ass that Twitter post when he was talking about Barack Obama being Black American and all that kind of stuff. It's like, bro, you don't even know what the hell is going on out here, bro. You've been so wrapped up in the Medea costume that your head ain't even on straight no more. Blacklight also says people need to start instilling attitudes toward them and their kids and the youth so that they grow up with a unified understanding of how to block them out of wealth. I agree, man. It's time for us to go and really, like you said, man. Niceness is not really the option. It hasn't really gotten us anywhere. And even in real life, man, when you think about it, like being that good guy, nice guy all the time doesn't really get you. It doesn't really get you those results that you may deserve. Sometimes you got to do a little bit, little Machiavellianism out here in these streets. Let's go.
Let's see. Jeffrey Levine, a deputy corporation counsel for the city, told aldermen at a committee meeting Friday, the city, and say could also cite companies by mail if the bus information is captured on camera. And say the city approval process was designed to create predictability and orderliness as far as when such buses would be arriving in the city. And say adding harsher penalties is intended to encourage better compliance. And say aldermen advanced the harsher penalties Friday, and saying they are pending final approval by the city council. And say since May, 463 buses have arrived in Chicago according to figures provided by the city. Say 5 buses arrived Thursday, and buses were also expected Friday. Say recent buses have dropped off passengers outside the city in places like Schiller Park, Rosemont, and Cicero, and around O'Hare International Airport. The mayor's office said, say the mid-November rules reflected the city's fast dwindling, they say, capacity for its thousands of new arrivals. They say city officials also said they would begin issuing notices to migrants at city-run shelters to vacate the premises within 60 days, and they would, if they boost personnel at initial bus landing spots to help asylum seekers.
So that's stupid. So you shouldn't even be bringing them up there in the first place. If you're giving them these people, so you're like, oh yeah, come to a whole new country, and we're gonna give you 60 days to figure your whole life out, and that's all you got, and then you back on the streets in 20-degree or less weather. That doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying like, oh, I feel sorry for the migrant, but it's like, bro, y'all shouldn't have did this in the first place. You guys obviously can't handle it. Y'all can't do anything like for real for these people. So I mean, send them back, man. Y'all so busy trying to play us. Y'all do anything, man, even if it takes some of yours down with you. But let's go.
Seekers relocate out of the city. And say if they choose, say Johnson had begun efforts to build a camp, quote, to house migrants, and say in a heated winter tents on the controversial Southwest side lot. And say, but Governor J.B. Pritzker's administration moved to scrap that plan as tensions between Springfield and the city escalate. Now, Pritzker's office said Illinois Environmental Protection Agency review of a city environmental report of the site indicated concerns related to insufficient soil sampling and remediation, and it would take too long to do additional testing and remediation, so the state would not proceed with the camp. So they say the search for another camp, they say to house the migrants, continues in the city. So Brandon Johnson is half-stepping still. Let me tell you something. The Democrats, what they're going to do? The Democrats going to step up a little bit on these migrants because you have to understand, you got like 11 months or so before the election. So they know a lot of people in the country right now is very upset about this migrant crisis. And this migrant crisis is a created crisis. This isn't something that just, oh man, we don't know how this happened. This was a created crisis because when the Trump administration was in office, we didn't have these problems. The moment Biden got in there, it became a free for all. Every month, more than 250,000 people are crossing that border into this country, flooding this country with millions and millions of people, and it's the Biden administration's fault. It is. The only one who's actually had some guts to say it was Mayor Eric Adams, right?
Man, y'all know they was talking about impeaching Joe Biden recently. Like that, I guess they're talking about there's been some new papers or something that's been approved to possibly go ahead and impeach Joe Biden. That sounds about right to me. That sounds great because Joe Biden ain't did nothing but he been fudging up the country because I guess he figured he about to go ahead and croak. So man, he just messed the country up as much as he can. He'll go ahead and turn it as LGTV as possible, and just watch it implode. He'll just croak and go off into the, I don't know, wherever you think Biden will be, heaven or hell. But yeah, let's go.
And that's why he's on the bad list with them, because he kept saying that. Because Biden don't want nobody saying nothing. Then Biden's so cold, he don't even want to give money to the cities to take care of these people. He won't open borders, but he don't want to give money to the cities. But he got money for war, though. He got money for all of that, but he ain't got money for these people that he's letting into the cities and the taxpayers.
Right.
That's what happened. You have corruption and corporatized politicians who are ran by the corporations. Because these people that's coming in, which they're exploiting these people. They're exploiting them because they're putting them in a situation. They say, oh, you can come to America, you can work, and you can have the American dream. Then they get over here, they can't work because they need work permits. They didn't tell them that to come over here. Look, when you get over here, you're not gonna be able to work because you're not gonna have a work permit for months. It may even take some years you can get a permit. I promise you, them people, it wouldn't come. If they knew they couldn't, they'd be sleeping on the street. It ain't no way those people came over here and thought in their mind, I'm gonna be sleeping in the 30, 20 degree Chicago weather on the street in the windy city. Nobody told them people that. Nobody did. They lied to them people and told them, you're gonna come up here, get a job, you'll get a house, American dream. Oh, you're gonna have such a great life.
But I think Rob talked about this too, man. Did these people have phones and stuff now? Did they not have like Google and computers and they be like, oh yeah, we're gonna get here in Chicago? Did they not know like the whole layout of the plan before they got here? They were just like, I want the gifts. I want the gift, the dinero, the gifts, and the rent paid. I want the gifts. I can eat tacos every day and not have to worry about it going to job. I want the gifts. What were they thinking about when they were crossing the Darien Gap, getting hit by them battle frogs and eating on them full corn diets? What was they thinking about on the way up here? Come on, man. You're supposed to know a little bit about something before you go. even the passport, bro. They know a little bit of the language before they go to some of these places. But let's go.
And they're finding out something different. And that's why the migrants need to be telling the other migrants back in their homeland, hey, you might want to stay over there because it is hard over here. The people mad with us. Everybody, you know, we have this a problem because it's causing more and more attention. Then what the sister said earlier about them committing crimes. That's true. They're committing crimes. They're breaking into people's houses. That's true. That's being reported. New York, I did a whole report on that out of New York on the Black Congregation Channel. They're breaking into people's houses. They're robbing people. They're out here tricking on the streets, selling themselves. They're doing all. And then what's that? What's that? New York State Senator Jessica Ramos calling it survival work. Their criminality is survival work. That's what she calls it. I'm talking about on the stroll, on the blade. Yeah, that's survival work called it Jessica Ramos. But they are committing crimes. And in some of their homeland, tricking is legal.
Oh man, the gifts. The gifts. Yeah, the gifts sound so goddamn right though. they'll cross through the jungle with booty shorts. You know, it was all kind of poisonous snakes and insects, and it was probably some boa constrictors in there, man. Showed them a straight up pipe dream, PD. Showed them a straight up pipe dream, man. It was horrible. Horrible. Let's continue through a little bit more of this video, then we'll check out some more videos.
In some of the places they come from. It's not illegal like it is here. Yes. Well, I'll say illegal for some people, but illegal for others. Let's call it what it is. All them Asian massage parlors and everybody and their mama know what go on in there, and yet they operating in plain sight. But let some black people.
So man, I got a homeboy who's like a policeman now, and he he be having a lot of coon talking points. Like he's like slowly becoming a coonologist and whatnot. So cause he be like policing like the black neighborhoods and stuff like that. And I guess like he says he doesn't see any white people or he doesn't see any Asian people. He's just like, yeah, man, that's just it's all us, man. It's just us, man. We just be messing up all the time, man. We be having dumb people doing this and dumb people doing that. I don't see the Asians doing that, but you're not around Asian people, bro. If you were like in Duluth or Gwinnett, you'll know about the Asian people. They say that the Gwinnett got the Asian folks at the Jeju place, going, putting people in their trunk and ending their life, and they got the massage parlors all up there in Gwinnett. And like he said, you know what goes down up there, and then plus Gwinnett is full of Mexicans and Asians, so obviously it's going to be mostly filled with Mexican and Asian crime. Whereas here, if you're in DeKalb County or you're in Decatur, you're like in certain parts of Decatur, or you're in like certain parts of Atlanta, you're going to be mostly around black people, and that's just what you're going to get. He was telling me he was like, man, yeah, if you had joined the police force or even the fire department, you'll feel totally different about black people. But he was, I don't know, bro. He just always one of them folks that's just like they roll over when they toot up whenever somebody comes up and says something crazy to them, they toot up and they just don't want to really be great. They don't want to strive for more. But yeah, that's him. I don't know. I think he's not thinking about the proximity and where he's at. He's just thinking about black people.
Do the exact same thing. They'll be shut down tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Some people can get away with criminality, and black folks sure can't.
Yes.
I mean, we not. You imagine that these people come to this country, traffic their people from their homeland to be doing something strange for some change in a massage parlor. We have never had some black folks from wherever they come from trafficking their own people in a massage parlor and tell them you got to do all this stuff strange for some change to pay off a trip. Tell them, it's $40,000 to come here. Hey, no ticket. I don't care if you enroll first class business class, go $40,000. They are horrible for doing that to their people.
He might as well be Officer Tatum Carson. The way he was talking is crazy. He might as well be Officer Tatum. That's well, I don't know. I guess he's like really the only like the policeman I've talked to, but everybody else, they seem like they're kind of cool. Like they don't really like talk about, oh yeah, man, these black people be out here causing issues. These N-words causing issues. He's the only one that's like that. When I think about like his dad and them, his dad is kind of like that. Like his dad left them and kind of treat him and his family like some second class citizens and whatnot. He left them hanging while he's a whole neurosurgeon. He's running around here, got them living poor and talking about some, yeah, man, your sisters in them messed up when I gave them some money back then. I gave them some allowance. Now I'm not gonna give nobody else no allowance. So yeah, he kind of like has bit that like that rigid lameness off his dad, but at the same time he got them coonologist talking points, and I can't really I can't really allow them to, just escape from that.
They trafficking their own people in here, but they can get away with that, right? So the migrants are here. They in the cold. They on the street. They have people saying that some of these places now sound like Skid Row. They said they are upset, and rightfully so. If Brandon Johnson or Eric Adams or anybody else, I couldn't be the mayor. I couldn't, because they say, okay, Phil, what would you do if you was a mayor of Chicago or New York? The first thing I'm getting up on TV and I'm saying, hey, we're gonna hold an election, a special election, and this election is gonna have one question on the ballot. That's it. Do you want the city to stay a sanctuary city status? If you vote yes, then we're going to endure this migrant crisis because that's what you want. We're going to endure. We're going to take money away from your services. We're going to do everything we can to help the migrants because that's what you want. But if you vote no and you don't want sanctuary city status, then we're cutting off all resources to them, and they got to go. They can go to the next city out wherever they got to go. They can't be here. They got to go. Matter of fact, I'm going to bus them to the White House. That's why I'm going to bus them, because that's where all the resources are anyway. Bus them to Congress. Bus them over there. Go drop them off.
I think when Black people initially thought of a sanctuary city, because we are like a real nice people and everything. Like, they were honorable people on the low, like the regular ones of us, which is pretty much most of us. But we're pretty honorable people and nice people and all that. We care about folks. We was definitely on that. Everybody need a chant now. We was definitely on that, and I think that we didn't think that when we said sanctuary city, we didn't think that, oh yeah, we gonna send them into your neighborhood, Black folk, and let them wash y'all out. We thought maybe they'll send them somewhere where nobody's really living at this point. Where they'll build some new stuff where nobody's living, and they'll let them figure it out from there. They didn't think, oh yeah, we're gonna just go out there and throw them in your neighborhood, Black folks. But yeah, what do y'all think about that? Y'all think it was everybody need a chant now, but y'all can come in our neighborhood? Y'all think it was everybody need a chant now, but send them over there? Let me know.
Oh, right over there where they at, and let them take care of them, because we don't have no money for that over here. Our kids need money. Our seniors need money. Our roads, our bridges need to be fixed. We got so many different things in our city that we got to deal with. We don't have no time to be dealing with all that. We're not going to have our city looking like freaking Skid Row.
Right.
Or looking like some enclave in San Francisco. And then, y'all, I don't know if you remember that, how San Francisco cleaned up that mess when all them dignitaries came in there. Oh, boy, that street was so clean. So they can move around anytime they get good and ready. These politicians.
Hey, didn't they say Xi Jinping came over there to California or San Francisco or something like that? What's it? Xi Jinping. I don't even know how I don't know how to say that. My girlfriend's Chinese, but yeah. Didn't they say that he came to San Francisco and they cleared the roads out for that? That's weird, man. Wow. And I think that's odd that if like y'all are enemies with China, how are y'all letting like Chinese people, like I guess like Chinese politicians, come over here and just like roam free in your place? It doesn't make sense.
But I think every city that's a sanctuary city, they should have an election, and that should be put on the ballot, and the people decide if they want to be a sanctuary city or not. It's just that simple. Because gone are the days where these politicians are just making decisions and the people have no say so. And if they think they're going to do that, then you need to vote them out. Right. And say, oh, we can't make a decision. Oh, you alderman. Oh, Brandon Johnson. Oh, y'all got to go. Y'all say y'all want to save democracy. That's saving democracy. We all talking about saving democracy when it comes to Trump. Y'all not talking about saving democracy when it comes to these Democrats that's making all these decisions for you, and you have no say so. None. And they tell you we're a sanctuary city. The people say, no, we don't want that. This is our values. We're a sanctuary city. Y'all got to stop putting up with that crap. Get rid of all those politicians that's not going to toe the line. That what the people say. They work for you. You're their boss. It's not the other way around that they're lord and master and you're the subjects. That's how they act when they get in office. Not a single dime of your tax dollars should be going to illegal foreign nationals.
That's real. I talked about it before, man. I think I asked y'all if y'all think that the United States is low key a dictatorship, and I think most of y'all said, yeah, I agree. I think that they give us the kind of the guise of feeling like, oh yeah, man, we making choices, man, democracy. But then they come around here and they just decide like this migrant crisis is a blatant slap in the face to every citizen in the United States, in my opinion. Like, you're just allowing them to just do this. I mean, unless you're talking about the other people that was at one point illegal immigrants or immigrants, but everybody else is like, nah, this doesn't make any sense. Why are you sending 200K illegals every day and just giving them money? But Carlton Way says everybody need a champ and send them. That's what they was thinking. Facts. Lois Scott says they're economic rivals, not enemies. Okay, that makes sense because we're in pretty big debt to them. We can, yeah, we do need they little they cheap factory labor and whatnot to make them iPhones and stuff. My homeboy lives over in China. He was sending me like this page This where like they were showing like like during the whole C-19 situation, like they were showing folks like they was vacuum sealing dogs and cats, and then like they was beating on people in the streets that they felt like had COVID, and then they was fighting over iPhones and they was tearing down the whole little plant and all that. It was crazy. It was an interesting page. Interesting. But let's go.
It should not. They should go, hey, the Biden administration and them, they got a lot of land in America. They need to go build some migrant camps. If he want them that bad, go put them in Montana somewhere. Go put them in Wyoming. They got a lot of land up there. Go put them over there. Why they got to come to Chicago? Why they got to come to New York?
That's what I'm thinking too. But I guess like them white folks up there in Montana and Wyoming, they be like, well, get them out of here. We don't want them in here. We don't want them. Get them out of here. But it's like, bro, like there's literally so much land that's not anything happening on up there. Send them there. And yeah, build them and make them go ahead and just gonna be like, oh yeah, figure it out now. We'll give you a little bit of money and we build some little facilities for you. Now figure it out now. That should be that.
New York. Now they trying to start sending them to Detroit. Why are you sending them to all these American cities? You trying to send them in, paper them up, and push out black people.
Right.
And push black people out into the rural areas where they don't have certain amenities, etc. Or black people have to commute an hour or so to go to work in the city, or 2 hours to go to work in the city.
Big trash.
This is what you want to do. And American citizens got to say, no, not on my tax dime. So, hey, if this candidate over here is going to get it going and start getting them on out, then yes, you got to vote for the candidate that's going to get them on out.
How effective do y'all think? So let's say it's looking like Trump is going to be the guy. Let's say Trump gets in there. How effective do you think that he's going to be in reversing this whole situation? Or do you think he's going to, in a weird way, cooperate with what the Democrats and Joe Biden them got going on? What do y'all think?
And the people got to stick to that. No, all this foreign aid. No, they said if I just saw the report, inflation went up again in November. It went up again. So now your dollar is not what it was again, what it should be. And all this is Biden's policies. All of it, literally draining your pockets. It is ridiculous when you go to the grocery store. It is Biden's policies. Then on top of that, the little tax dollars you do have is being drained. Everything with this administration is draining everything, draining your tax dollars, draining your personal pockets, just draining it, trying to literally break.
Hey, bro, that is kind of real. Like you go to Whole Foods, you pick like 4 items in Whole Foods, and it'll round up to $50. You be like, bro, I didn't get nothing. And then now it's like you go to the regular store, you get like maybe 7 items and it's $50. You be like, man, I didn't get nothing. Now that's real though. That's real, man. Joe Biden them got the inflation going nuts out here, man.
The middle class, break you. No affordable housing anywhere. All these hedge funds bought up all the single family homes. So now you have a housing shortage, and these politicians allowed it. So-called Democrats supposed to be the party of regulations, and they're not forcing these hedge funds to say, hey, you got to get up off all them houses. We got American citizens that need homes. If I had to be the president, it'd be a few things I would do to solve the housing crisis, right? The first,
bro, that kills me, bro. Like y'all know about that company BlackRock? They say that's like got all the houses, that's pretty much bought most of the houses, and that's why like when you be on the market for a house, you can't really find one, or like every time somebody has a house ready, it's immediately getting I guess an offer put on it, and you miss out on that. That's crazy, man. Like that they would really sit here and be like, oh yeah, you can buy almost all the houses and that's fine. And then I guess like Lloyd Scott 9 said, man, since we owe China so much, we really don't have a choice. But they've allowed China to buy up quite a bit of things too, which is which is weird to me. But once you put it that way, like Lloyd Scott 9 said, it makes a lot of sense, right? And then that's crazy. Like you remember like back in the day when you was a kid, you'll see like a neighborhood and it'll be like, oh yeah, the brand new houses from the low 150s. And now every time you see a neighborhood, it's always like, hey, 500, hey, 900, hey, 1 million. Bro, they don't even, it's crazy. It's crazy out here. Carlson Way say BlackRock is the big home and they own facts. But who is in control of BlackRock is the question. That's what I want. I mean, I'm sure it's some translucence, but yeah, BlackRock and JP Morgan. Okay, so JP Morgan in on that thing too. It's over here in America for wealth building. You better have facts, man. Facts. You can't be like back in the days when your grandparents was around and them houses cost $8,000, but your grandparents couldn't even get in on that either because they were black. And that's part of where the reparations is necessary, man. Them folks really try to shut us out of a lot of stuff: Homestead Act, housing, GI Bill, all this. Let's go.
Thing I would do is say, okay, I need to bring all the major builders that build homes to the White House, and I need to sit down with them. I'm gonna say, look, we got a housing crisis, and we need X amount of million homes built per year. We need that. So what do we need to do to help you do that? And we prepared to give you some major tax breaks. See, I'm the type of person to say, look, if you can solve the housing crisis, listen, 5 years, you can be tax-free. 5 years. For 5 years. You build these houses, I'll give you 5 years tax-free. You ain't got to pay a dime of tax. Help us solve this issue that we have. Number two, I would force all those hedge funds to get up off them houses. All of them. Because you can't sit on them houses. Go invest in something else.
Right. That's what I'm wondering. Like, what do they plan on doing with the houses? Are they going to have like an Airbnb army? Or you can go to goddamn Montana and get an Airbnb with BlackRock right now. What? I don't get it, man. I just don't understand it. Like they literally got all the houses here in Atlanta. I remember when Angie was searching for a house. We was running around here searching for a house. I guess she got that spoiled Asian crazy rich Asian kid money. Cause she was putting like half a meal ticket on them guys, and she still wasn't getting the offer, which is crazy to me. But let's go.
The third thing I would do is say, okay, we got to take these interest rates back down to what they were during the Trump administration. Minimum 1%. 1% interest rates. And we got to stay there. So these people can buy these homes. Because y'all don't understand. The more people that rent is the reason why they keep raising it. If more people had single family homes, you can really drop these rents back down to literally what it was when I was a young man. It's not that hard to solve the problems in the United States if you want to. See, Biden and the Democrats and them not trying to solve these problems. They're not trying. The migrant situation, the border's closed. We done. We closed. No, we got enough. We can't be taking. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Not here.
Right. Go to one of them 9 countries you skipped over just to get to the United States because you came up here for some handouts. Black Lives says they're going to buy all the land and homes so that they can get political power as a corporation, then swap the boardroom for the government. Facts. It's going to be like one of them video games where like some weird corporation. It's going to be like The Boys where Vault like pretty much owns the world in The Boys. Except it's going to be BlackRock. Win, lose, rub, man. This is where we need you to make some videos, man. You know, you're pretty good at this kind of stuff, man. You need to be making them videos and, putting your channel up, man. That'd be cool. You can tie that into the whole migrant crisis and stuff. People enjoy that, man. We need that. We need that, man. We need it soon. We need it soon. But like I said, the lack of ability to own real estate is needed for new financial model they're trying to move. That's interesting, man. That's really interesting. Like there are so many things that are going on in the United States that are just so far, that like are so backwards and outlandish that I'm just like, all right, what's the plan with this? Like this whole migrant thing. Like, Black Light's done a Undocumented Bros global series, which I'm not really understanding. I'm not understanding, what is the end game with the Undocumented Bros global. Like this, pretty much every Western country has a influx of undocumented. BlackRock is buying all the stuff here. You can't even be a regular person no more. Like, what's the plan? I want to know what the new financial model is, man. You got to talk about that in the next Undocumented Bros video, though. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow in the morning. I'll be tuning in. But let's go.
You can go. You got all them Latin American countries you can go to. You can't come here. That's what I would tell them. You pass up all them countries to come up here? No. This is not a free-for-all.
Right. Fuck out of here.
And if you do come here for some reason, you're not getting a dime. You're not getting no assistance, no nothing. You're not getting anything. If I do let you in here, I'll give you a work permit. So immediately give you one. If you came here the right way, I'll give you one immediately. So you can go to work. So I don't want you just around here not working. So I'll let you do that. It's not hard to solve some of these problems. It's not hard. Reparations is not even hard. Just cut back all that foreign aid and start paying reparations.
Bro, facts. A lot of the problems in the United States are not hard to solve, but these people just don't want to solve them. Even the problems that affect everybody that's in the United States, not just black people, they could solve these problems easily. But they just don't, and they're just greedy. It's like we got a bunch of Adam 22s in the government, man. They just so goddamn greedy. They're like, yeah, I have all the money, but I have all the money and we do all the porn and stuff, but I want to rent my girl out to Black Eyes, BBC. I want to do that. because I just need more money. That's how these guys are. I just don't get it. Let's see what we got here. Like says, they need to have a majority of people in extreme poverty to justify shifting from an asset-based system to a socialism-based system, so they're flooding areas of majority middle class with people. So they're trying to turn this guy, that, you know what I think, they're trying to turn this place into Elysium. Y'all seen that movie Elysium? Where like they got all the poor people like just down bad working in factories, getting beat up on by robots, and then they got all the rich people living on like this island on this moon or something, and they just look down on all the poor people. They be up there living with great food, unlimited resources. They got like some little healing machines and stuff that heal all type of different diseases and ailments and whatnot. That's what I feel like. Yeah, that extreme poverty, they're trying to get us right with that, man. They're basically manufacturing alternative facts, not just facts. Lord Scott 9 says this is just mouse utopia experience. It's supposed to get worse. Ugh, that's so ugly, man. It's supposed to get worse. Yeah, that's the way they want it to be like, man. That's the way they want it to be like. Let's go and keep on going with this.
Not hard to do any of that. You're spending hundreds of billions of dollars a year already. You can keep that money in America. It's not hard to do any of this stuff. They just don't want to.
It's not.
They get off on creating a problem, and then you go look to them to solve the problem, and they tell you they're going to solve the problem, but they don't do nothing because if all the problems are solved, they feel like, well, there's no work for us to do at that point.
Bro, they got like 50 countries on the payroll that are each getting like several billion. So they could easily give us reparations, but they just got their hands in stupid stuff.
So they love a problem. We as a people, United States, got to look at that. It's not hard to solve these problems. It's not, it's so difficult. No, it's not. They have proven so many times it's not difficult to do anything. It's not difficult to solve crime. You can literally end crime tomorrow if you wanted to, and they know it. You talk about mass incarceration, they do that because they want to. Because if you take out all the people out of prison right now that had non-violent offenses and say, listen, you're going to be on home confinement, like we were basically during the pandemic, home confinement. Now, you violate the term of your home confinement, then you're going to get sent to a jail. And then whatever jail you go into is going to be for non-violent offenders. It's not going to be for you in there with murderers and all that. There's so many different things that you can do to solve the problems. It's not that hard. Go to Norway, which they one of the best countries. Their recidivism rate is so low that people go to jail over there, they don't come back. You go study the ways they did it in Norway and just mimic it. So you can make people productive members of society. All the problems we have, I'm telling you, is created by these politicians. I'm telling you that. The people's not really creating these problems.
I agree with that. And who are the politicians? What group of people is that? Interesting. What's good, Derek? Oh, Lord Scott now brought some more science fiction in this thing. He said Wayland and Yutani in the Alien series represents the Asian Euro-only outlook for the future. Facts. Bro, Joe Biden is definitely Peter Wayland, the super old trash one that was in Prometheus, where they didn't know he was alive, and then they came in there and he was like alive and his toe was all crunched up and he could barely move, and all it took was one slap for him to pass away. That's definitely what Joe Biden is like, bro. That's definitely what he's like. He's a greedy, arrogant, racist prick, and he don't care about what happens as long as he gets his. He don't care about all that. Yeah, it goes deep in those movies. It does. The aliens get the bad rap, but it's really the AI. Yeah, man, that's real. Like it was really the people that was the issue. Really, they were so greedy and stuff, and it was like, bro, you're causing issues you don't even need to cause. You know, you really want to bring this crazy creature right here that burns acid blood to the earth because you want to weaponize it for global wars. What? And that's kind of like this migrant. Like, you really want to bring all these random people in here for what? And then the AI did go wrong. You're right. But let's check out this next video, man. It says we got an African dude right here, an African migrant. He wants some gifts too. This guy wants some gifts too. He wants the gifts. All of them is talking like that too. They all say gifts, so we can use that universally across different diasporas and cultures and whatnot. The gifts. But this video right here is New Yorkers are shifting their attitude toward recent migrant influx. Let's go.
Demonstrators in New York City's Staten Island neighborhood are celebrating the blocking of a proposed migrant shelter in their neighborhood.
I think even people who are open-minded to what they call migrants coming in have understood now it's costing us.
Having accommodated over 100,000 recent migrants, New York City Mayor Eric Adams has warned that this may have grave implications for the city.
And how dare anyone say New York City is not going through a crisis?
Eric Adams got that annoying ass boxing coach voice and just look. He just got that. Back in my day, I used to throw 100 punches every 2 minutes, and nobody could stop me. No, you didn't, dog. He's definitely that guy. But let's go.
And here's the sad part about it, folks. When you get 10,000 a month, there's no relief in sight. And so I'm not going to search through a thesaurus and find the proper way to be politically correct to tell you that this can destroy our city, this crisis.
According to a recent survey by Siena College, the opinions of everyday New Yorkers toward the arriving migrants are also shifting.
79% of Democrats, at least 79% of Republicans, at least 79% of independents, of all those groups, all say that the recent influx is a serious problem. I do think that the migrant issue is very much affecting how voters view the president.
Musafer Shishti, a senior fellow at the Migration Policy Institute, also believes that this could have implications.
What do you guys think about immigrants enforcing immigration type things? Do you guys think it makes any sense, or do you guys think it's a conflict of interest? I personally think it's a conflict of interest. This guy's name, who you can't even really pronounce, Little Christie, is running around here being the immigration guy. No, this guy's name needs to be Bradford, or it needs to be Jaquarius Jones. Those are the two names, the only two names that make sense for immigration. Not Guzman Christie or something Ramirez. None of that makes sense. I ain't trying to be like I mean, it's not racist, but I'm just saying, like, it's an obvious conflict of interest. Everybody I know that's an immigrant always has a soft spot for immigrants, whether legal or illegal. Some of them don't. Some of them get it, but for the most part, always have a soft spot. Let's get it.
For the upcoming 2024 elections,
it is going to have some dent in the election. How much, we don't know. We are still more than a year away from elections. It might subside by then, but I think it will have an impact.
Mayor Adams has implemented several recent measures aimed at diminishing the attractiveness of New York City for prospective newcomers. However, for many migrants, the allure of the city's economy and migrant benefits remain compelling.
Somebody recommended me to come in here because I can get the idea of the city, I can get the Medicaid, and I can have also a shelter where I can live. If you are a new immigrant, you are a newcomer.
See, what's the common theme across the cultures? I want the gifts. I want the gifts. I want the gifts.
The best city to you to live is in New York.
Not all New Yorkers are adopting a negative stance on these recent arrivals. Many Manhattan residents have contributed their time and resources.
New Yorkers have been very, very welcoming and generous. And that New York at its core, the human beings of New York, maybe not the government of New York, but the people of New York remain welcoming, giving, generous, kind-hearted peoples.
As the political repercussions of the migrant issue ripple across the Big Apple and other major U.S. cities, the effectiveness of the assimilation of these migrants and their impact on both the local and national political landscape is still to be determined. Aaron Rainin, VOA News, New York City.
Yeah, so you see them boys in Africa, so they came from Africa. They want the gifts too. Them folk from, well, I don't know what the Chinese nationals that's been coming to the border. I'm not sure if they really want the gifts, but I don't know if they want the gifts, but I don't know what. Does anybody know where the whereabouts of the Chinese? Well, I guess that they can kind of go and hide in Chinatown, because the police here don't really involve themselves in Chinatown politics, do they? So you really don't know what goes on. When you think about it that way. When you think about like all the crime that's underreported or that's overreported in the Black community, like how they just like they put an extra microscope on us and they ramp it up times 1,000. When you think about it, like our police are really going into Chinatown? Are they really going into Koreatown? Are they really going into these places? When you think about it. So that would make sense on why things just like, oh yeah, the Asian be like 3% goddamn. Oh yeah, Asian be goddamn only having food stamps a little bit. Goddamn. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, food stamps, I guess you can't really tell, but I mean, like as far as like crime and stuff, like you're not gonna. I'm pretty sure they commit quite a bit of crime. I'm pretty sure that, but it's like you're not gonna know because it's in Chinatown, it's in Koreatown. But let's check out one more video, man. One more video I got. This little racist dude. Oh yeah, Carlson said yeah they don't really go into Chinatown. So yeah, Brooklyn Queen said the same thing. So okay, so yeah, but we're not getting an accurate representation of what the final stats for the Chinese and the Asians is. They just seem like model minority. But yeah, this one right here is by Forgotten History. This dude is a little bit racist. He's a little weak, but he be giving out some alternative history and whatnot. But in this case, he's talking about Joe Biden, man, and the enemy of my enemy is, well, he's not my friend, but he's still my enemy. But he's talking about Joe Biden, so I will, we'll take a gander at it. Let's go.
Joe Biden established himself as a very flexible politician when it came to his positions on important issues. His lack of honesty and political integrity were established early in his career, as was his willingness to use his office for personal gain and vengeance. However, despite Biden's long track record of failures, to be fair, he did have a few brief moments of diplomatic brilliance, where he actually did his job on behalf of the nation, if not the world in general. What were some of Biden's successes in the Senate? How did he transform from a war hawk to a passive duck, and why? What professional and personal decisions did he make at home?
Man, I hate this hair so bad. This little back piece right here, I know I talked about it Black Light when we did reacts, but I just had to reiterate, man, I hate it. Just cut that shit off. God.
Armed to the nation. How did scandal begin to plague his career? Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, military veteran, historian, author, and welcome to this episode of Forgotten History.
That boy looked like a vampire, didn't he? Let's look at him one more time.
Hello, I'm Colin Heaton.
That joker look like Daybreakers, don't he? Look at him. He look like, oh, I need blood. I need blood. He looked like he bite the blood and he immediately come back to full health. Let's go.
Military veteran, historian, author, and welcome to this episode of Forgotten History.
Right.
Before the start of the Yugoslav Civil War, as tensions were increasing, Biden held a tense 3-hour meeting with Serbian leader Slobodan Milosevic in April 1993. Again, to his credit, Biden worked on several versions of legislative language urging the U.S. toward greater involvement. Biden has rightly considered his role in the Balkans crisis as his proudest moment in public life regarding foreign policy. In 1999, during the Kosovo War, Biden supported the 1999 NATO bombings, and he, with Senator John McCain, co-sponsored the McCain-Biden-Kosovo resolution, which called on Clinton to use all necessary force, including ground troops, to confront Milosevic over Yugoslav actions toward ethnic Albanians in Kosovo. Biden was also a strong supporter of the war in Afghanistan, saying, "Whatever it takes, we should do it."
Man, Joe Biden looks so different from how he looks here. He looks like pure D shit right now. Pure D. Let's go.
As head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, he said in 2002 that Iraqi President Saddam Hussein was a threat to national security, and there was no other option than to eliminate that threat. In October 2002, as one of the most vocal hawks on Capitol Hill, he voted in favor of the authorization.
Look at this group of white dude room right here. This is just, the decisions weren't made good on behalf of the country right here. All these people look like some greedy jokers. This is a skull and crossbone fraternity, ain't it? Ain't that the group? the skull and crossbone fraternity. This is all them. Let's get it.
For use of military force against Iraq, approving the U.S. and coalition force invasion. By late 2006, Biden's stance had completely reversed, and he changed his previous opinions. He opposed the troop surge of 2007, saying that General David Petraeus was dead flat wrong in believing this could work, and Biden was wrong. The surge worked. Instead, Biden believing that dividing Iraq into 3 separate states, separating the factions, was a great idea, giving Kurds, Shiites, and Sunnis their own opinions. Unfortunately, he failed to consult with Iran, Turkey, and Iraq. In September 2007, a non-binding resolution endorsing the plan passed the Senate, but the idea failed to gain traction in the House of Representatives. To Biden's great credit, he did call for American intervention to end the genocide in Darfur, but he also spoke out against President George W. Bush's handling of the Iraq War, claiming that he had been opposed all along. Others, like John Kerry and Hillary Clinton, also altered their previous positions, even claiming they never supported the war.
So I just seen a picture of that dude, Colin Powell. Is he actually was he for black people, or was he just he just happened to be in a good position and happened to be black? Because I get I feel like I hear most of every time I hear somebody talk about him, they're like, oh yeah, Colin Powell, Colin Powell, he was black excellence. But I just don't see it.
During the 2000s, Biden sponsored bankruptcy legislation sought by credit card issuers, and this made sense, as Biden was a major benefactor from the banks issuing those cards, most based in Delaware. They donated to his campaigns. Clinton had vetoed the bill in 2000, but it passed in 2005 during the George W. Bush administration as the Bankruptcy Abuse Prevention and Consumer Protection Act, being one of only 18 Democrats to vote for it, while leading Democrats and consumer rights organizations opposed it. This would set in motion the financial meltdown in 2007 and 2008. Biden also strongly supported increasing Amtrak funding by taxpayers because that program never made a profit.
It's interesting to me to think about how many different politicians were also a part of significant, I guess, times in our country that were bad, during the whole 2007, 2008 recession situation and all that. So Biden was in there, he was part of the whole string pulling situation. I guess Kosovo, I was a kid during that time, so I didn't care about all that. So he was during that. He'd been around for a long time making bonehead decisions for the country. But let's go.
And like the U.S. Postal Service, was always in the red. He opposed privatizing Amtrak, which would have made sense, as the private sector always manages a business better than the federal government. In 2007, Biden decided to run for the U.S. presidency again. But Biden's campaign could not compete in the primary challenges against the name recognition and momentum of fellow Senators Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And after receiving less than 1% of the vote in the crucial Iowa caucuses, Biden dropped out of the race. Biden was selected by Obama to be his vice presidential running mate, as it was believed that he could help the Obama campaign communicate its message of economic recovery to the blue-collar voters crucial to swing states like Ohio and Pennsylvania. On November 2, 2008, the Obama and Biden ticket defeated Republicans Arizona Senator John McCain and Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. On January 20, 2009, Obama was sworn in as the 44th U.S. president, and Biden became the 47th vice president. During this period, Biden's financial limitations manifested, along with the criminal behavior of then-Democrat Representative Barney Frank from Massachusetts. Frank had oversight of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and followed the Obama policy of giving home loans to underprivileged Americans, in essence, those who could not afford them. Many of these owners, unable to pay for the mortgages, defaulted, and the banks had to recover those losses, which depleted cash reserves for other investments. Barney Frank lied to Congress and the American people during the crisis period from 2006 to 2008. Housing prices took a plunge even greater than the price drop during the Great Depression, and new construction ground to a halt, as the leading institutions were going bankrupt, and new loans could not be secured by builders, and refinancing existing loans was almost impossible. In fact, that very discussion came to a head in 2009 when Frank was on Fox News Channel's The O'Reilly Factor, when Bill O'Reilly called Frank out for the lies, deception, and cover-ups. It was proven.
So many random white guys that's been put in power just making all these little trash decisions, man. I'm learning. Get it.
That, even while Frank and Biden, among others, touted the solvency of the home lending institutions, they were secretly selling their stocks to cash in before the whole house of cards collapsed. They saw it coming and did not tell the American people. In fact, they did just the opposite. The crisis was in essence created by Obama, Biden, Frank, and others with limited intellect and banking knowledge, which led to the Great Recession. And millions of working-class Americans, the very people the Democrats claimed to represent, lost everything from 401ks to homes and to their jobs. 2 years after the recession ended, unemployment was still above 9%, retirement plans evaporated, and Obama and Biden secured taxpayer bailouts for the banks and savings and loans that made those risky loans, most to unqualified homebuyers who would not have qualified due to income and credit ratings. The major CEOs, CFOs, and others who ran these lending institutions were given golden financial parachute bailouts, so massive their feet would never touch the ground. They were not held liable for fiscal mismanagement, lying to the shareholders, the American public, and keeping separate books for presentation to auditors for the second time. In March 2008, insider investors like Barney Frank and others in the know, all liberals and a few Republicans, sold off their investment shares in the bank Bear Stearns because it contained too many of the questionable and toxic assets. Bear Stearns approached J.P. Morgan Chase for a bailout, but the Fed had to sweeten the deal with a $30 billion guarantee using taxpayer money. The situation on Wall Street rapidly deteriorated throughout the summer of 2008. Congress authorized the Treasury Secretary to take over the mortgage companies Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which Barney Frank oversaw and ran into the ground, and it cost $187 billion. Remember, Frank, Biden, and other liberals, as well as some Republicans, sold out before the crash. They had insider information. On September 16, 2008, the Fed loaned another $85 billion to AIG as a bailout, although the average citizen lost everything. On September 17, 2008, the crisis created a run on money market funds where companies parked excess cash to earn interest on it overnight, and banks then used those funds to make short-term loans. During the run, companies moved a record $172 billion out of their money market accounts into even safer U.S. Treasury bonds. Many would call that insider trading. On September 20th, 2000.
That's ugly. So they knew about it, and they was like, oh yeah, we're gonna just let everybody else suffer.
Treasury Secretary Henry Paulson and Fed Chair Ben Bernanke submitted a $700 billion bailout package to Congress. This response helped stop the run, but Republicans blocked the bill for 2 weeks because they didn't want to bail out banks. They only approved the bill on October 1st, 2008, after global stock markets almost collapsed. Welcome to Bidenomics. Another factor of interest was that Biden had worked with the Federal Reserve and other members of the government to alter the unemployment numbers so that the administration looked better.
Facts.
In October and November, the Fed and Treasury restructured the bailout, bringing the total amount to $182 billion. By 2012, the government made $22.7 billion profit when the Treasury sold its last AIG shares, but those average Americans who lost their retirement investments never saw one dime. When they calculated unemployment, they never counted those discouraged workers who had given up looking for a job and dropped out of the workforce. Likewise, in order to appear better politically, the Obama-Biden administration began counting part-time and temporary employment into the job numbers. Biden personally led the charge to perform damage control after the Affordable Care Act passed in the dark of night without a single Republican vote in support of it. The Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act was signed into law on March 23, 2010. The law mandated businesses with more than 50 full-time employees under the new law had to provide exhaustive and costly coverage to those workers. The end result was that companies then had to make hard choices. Some downsized their workforce below 50 workers, some made their full-time workers part-time, while some companies simply moved their businesses overseas, many to China, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Europe, for cheaper operating expenses to escape the unaffordable insurance requirements. Biden actively supported the ACA, known as Obamacare, and the lies that were told to the public were exposed when millions of Americans lost their existing health care plans if they did not conform to the much more expensive ACA requirements. Longtime patients lost their doctors, which they were told would not happen, and many doctors in private practice, seeing that Medicare payments would not cover their operating expenses, simply retired from the practice of medicine. Simply put, it was a bad law that crippled the economy across the board, a true result of a socialist inspired.
That's ugly right there, man. Shout out to y'all, man. When Loser Rug said this, and all this, and only one person was actually charged with a crime. That's crazy. Crazy work. Like I said, it's a system of quantitatively easing your own wealth by creating a system of rushes and crashes of other people where your returns come from collection on high interest debt, no matter how many families you destroy. Right. And that's the United States. That's how they are. Like you said, it's a culture of one people that runs all this. So, that's what we gotta blame. That's what we gotta blame. Yeah, they ruthless. Let's get it. Ruthless, and now they toothless because they old as hell. They've been in politics for goddamn 50 more years. Let's get it.
Policy mandate, which Joe Biden totally supported. Obama and Biden claimed that it was not a tax, but in fact it was. And when challenged to the Supreme Court, The justices ruled it was legal because it is a tax and can make tax laws. But guess who lobbied Biden and other Democrats to get the law passed?
Man, what the hell was they laughing about right there? And you know damn well Joe Biden's teeth is fake as a bitch. Come on, man. Them teeth is fake as a bitch, man. But what was they laughing? Yeah, we got him. We got him, Barry. We cheated them. They're gonna want so much money.
But guess who lobbied Biden and other Democrats to get the law passed? That's right, the major insurance companies, because they believed that they would make more money since the government was covering the bill. And with the mandatory tax imposed for those who did not buy it, cost of coverage that locked it in, it was a win for everybody. Those people who lost full-time working status in many cases took second part-time jobs, which were continuously added to the Obama-Biden unemployment figures, providing a false impression of higher employment in the country, while Biden mostly served.
Does it seem like that's kind of the norm now? Everybody kind of has like they have to do like several different things to stay afloat. Have you noticed that? Like a lot of people kind of do more than one thing, and it's not like it's just like, oh man, I just love doing it. It's mostly kind of seem like it's out of necessity. What do you guys think?
Served in the role of behind-the-scenes advisor to Obama, he was very active in formulating federal policies relating to the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Also, to Biden's credit, it should be mentioned that he helped bring the new Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty between the United States and the Russian Federation to life in 2010. In October 2015, Biden announced that he would not seek the 2016 Democratic nomination after the death of his son, Beau. Obama presented Biden with the Presidential Medal of Freedom on January 12, 2017 in a surprise ceremony at the White House. However, there were many things coming back to haunt Biden. Also in 2017, Biden wrote a memoir, Promise Me Dad, and went on a book tour. By 2019, he and his wife reported that they had earned over $15 million since the end of his vice presidency from speaking engagements and book sales.
Who was buying that book? Who was interested in what Joe Biden got to say? I mean, unless he got some secrets and stuff. Yeah.
However, Biden, the man who claimed to be the poorest man in Congress, paid millions of dollars in cash for several homes, including a beach house in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Biden's income-to-debt ratio did not match IRS records, nor did Hunter's. More on that in Part 3. More allegations of sexual misconduct continued to follow Biden. Lucy Flores, a former Nevada State Assemblywoman, came forward saying that Biden interviewed her at a campaign event, and a former congressional aide named Amy Lapos spoke of how Biden was made her uncomfortable at a fundraiser. Between March and April 2019,
Yeah, Joe Biden been sticking that double chin down them girls' throats. He been sticking that booty chin down them girls' throats.
8 women accused Biden of inappropriate physical contact. The most credible allegation of sexual assault came from a former aide named Tara Reid.
Ugh. Joe Biden was trying to touch that up. Let's see that again.
Sexual assault came from a former.
Ugh. That boy Joe Biden was down bad that night, wasn't he? Look at that double chin. She got on, man. That's down bad, boy. She look at her hair, look like she ain't washed it. Or maybe it was, maybe she got like this from the whole Joe Biden scandal, man. Joe Biden put her through the ringer. She just, she stopped washing her hair, stopped taking care of herself, going to the gym. Next thing you know, she ended up like this.
Aide named Tara Reid. She had reported the event and filed a formal complaint to the ethics committee through proper channels, informed her family and friends and her mother, Jeanette Altemus, called the popular talk show Larry King Live in 1993 to talk with King. The title of the program that day was Washington, the Cruelest City on Earth, and one of the guests was Lois Romano, who at the time worked as a journalist for the Washington Post. The entire event was laid out on national TV. Despite the scandals, Biden announced that he was running for president in 2020 on April 25, 2019, and he was heavily criticized for his longtime support of the Hyde Amendment, the federal law that bans federal funding for abortions. As he was running for president due to liberal pressure, he reversed his position on Hyde, as well as his many previous positions on gay marriage, gays in the military, etc. He always chose the position.
Yeah, so Biden did a complete 180, and everybody just forgot and was like, yeah, get him in office, get him in office, get him in office. Yeah, because they said he was against the gays in the military. He was against the abortion and whatnot. Yeah, so now he's trying to act. Yeah, she hit Joe with that. That's too ugly. She look like she could beat by right. She does. What's good, Forrest? Let's keep this thing going.
Position that gave him political lift. In essence, he has always been a fraud, never having a strong moral position that could not be swayed for personal or political advantage. What really brought interest into Biden's family finances was the first debate between Trump and Biden. Biden denied that his family had made any money from China or that he had ever spoken to his son Hunter or anyone in his family about their foreign business interests. Trump knew that it was all a lie, as he had the information and people had come forward, such as retired U.S. Navy Lieutenant Tony Bobulinski, the CEO of Sinohawk Holdings. He provided electronic, written, and verified whistleblower testimony.
Well, all the Bidens all got fake teeth. Look at them teeth. Look at that fake row of chompers. You know them boys ain't taking care of them teeth the way that it came out that Hunter Biden smokes meth, bro. What are we saying? We know his teeth ain't hitting like that for real in real life. He got some yellow chiclets under there.
Money, refuting all the claims made by both Hunter and Joe Biden, and all of Bobulinski's assertions proved to be 100% accurate. In September 2019, it was revealed that President Trump had inquired into the Ukrainian government investigating Biden and his son Hunter. This was the result of Biden blackmailing the president of Ukraine, threatening to withhold $1 billion in U.S. aid.
Now, speaking of suicide, Shadow, man, y'all on it. So this wasn't the video I was expecting, but it was another video called "Most Corrupt Joe Biden," and I didn't know that he got his current wife off of an affair. So his wife was with somebody else, and he was messing with the wife. And then I guess they went ahead and left the dude, and now, yeah, I guess the dude's probably sitting in a nursing home somewhere in a chair somewhere, rocking chair. Joe Biden's out running around with his lady, having dementia. But that's ugly. Yeah, man. So he got that suicide shadow from multiple places. Let's get it. Hunter got that.
Unless the country's prosecutor general at the time was fired. The investigation was into Burisma Holdings and their illegal activities in trying to corner the energy market, and why Hunter Biden, without any business, energy, or serious finance experience, no knowledge of the Ukraine, as well as a documented history of drug addiction, was involved. Trump wanted answers. In a September 24th speech, Biden called Trump's actions an abuse of power and said he would support impeachment if Trump did not cooperate with Congress. The stupidity of that scenario was that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ignited impeachment proceedings that same day without even having an inquiry.
Look at this joker looking like a straight coonologist. Look at him. He looked like he could have been in Django. Ain't that that's Clyburn, ain't it? Yeah, look at that bullshit he got. He's one of them jokers that he actually goes to the barbershop and gets this done. I hope y'all know that. He's one of them worth some man joker that they go to the barbershop and get this done. He literally is getting a lineup on these two little chops here. And he's getting this middle piece right here shaved to completion for ultimate shininess. And then he gets a fade in the back like he got enough hair for a ball fade. Let's go.
The impeachment proved to be a farce when the transcript of the call was made public, proving that Trump had in fact only inquired as to the status of the investigation, given the evidence that the Bidens were making millions from Burisma in undeclared, unearned, and untaxed income. Quickly getting to work, President Biden signed a series of executive orders over his first few days in office, 17 being signed the first day. He reversed the successful policies initiated by Trump and opened the southern border in violation of federal law and his oath of office. Pandering to his New Green Deal Democrats.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of suicide, Strato, let's think about that. He immediately got into office and reversed everything about the border that Trump had did. And then you see Ocasio-Cortez, and you know she's a big advocate for the undocumented bros coming in this thing. So maybe she put some suicide strategy on him too. And then that's when he was like, "Oh, I'll sign it." She would put that suicide strategy. He's like, I'll sign it. Oh, I'll sign it. Next thing you know, he opened the border back up. Next thing you know, PD said he sent me that ring. She got the chompers too, don't she? She got them choppers too, so she gave. She gave him that Mr. Ed head with the suicide straddle. That's a vicious combo. That'll make anybody do anything. Let's keep it going.
Biden killed the pipelines, stopped giving new leases to drill, restricted land so that current leases could not be used, and pushed electric vehicles, for which all the major components are made in China, and the materials are mined by slave labor in Africa, mostly children. In his first 2 weeks in office, Biden signed more executive orders than any other president since Franklin D. Roosevelt had in their first month in office, and every one of them has damaged the country. Biden also removed the Remain in Mexico policy, which prevented the illegals from around the world from crossing the border, with the assistance of the Mexican government, who had also secured their southern border with Guatemala. Biden agreed to re-enter the United States in the climate-related Paris Agreement, and he overturned the ban that prevented entry for Muslims coming from terrorist-supporting nations. Biden campaigned and then pulled funding for the completion.
Yeah, y'all see this stuff like this is idiotic to me. Like it's literally like what's the little thing, the little Darwinism thing, man? Yeah, man, this is just so stupid to me. Like, bro, like natural selection, bro. You're really out here like, oh yeah, the terrorist supporting countries will allow them to come on back in. We'll reverse the whole border situation, even though it was working out well. Yeah, let's do it.
Of the wall along the Mexican border. He then began having the border wall cut open to allow more illegals and criminals to enter the country. As we go into part 3, we will see how Biden undermined national security, sold access and influence, violating his oath of office from senator through president, stole highly classified material, lied to the American people regarding his family's crime spree, and weakened the country's position on the world stage.
Bro, on the other video, they said his family actually has put hits on folks and done a little crazy stuff like that. Like he actually has a family that's involved in crime. That's crazy to me, bro. So Biden's slick. He might just be just as bad or worse than Trump, but he's a little bit more sheltered and protected because he's been a lifelong politician, and he got that skull and crossbone Bohemian Grove crew type of deal going on. So he's just getting away with it. But let's go.
Which is explained by the Biden crime family's sudden wealth and political decisions that only benefited our enemies. Thanks for watching today's episode of Forgotten History. If you like this episode,
that boy Jakilich. There's a referee named Jakilich. Lois Canase, I think he said that he thinks vampires are a real thing. This guy definitely is proving that case. Look at this guy's hair. Look at it. This dude, he looks like a video game or something. Like, bro, he looks crazy. He looks like a vampire for real, bro. This is crazy. Look at this skin. He looks like he will not survive 1 minute in the sun. And look at this horribly fitting suit. Look at this horribly fitting suit. Look at this cranked open collar. Man, this dude is looking horrific. Literally horrific, man. It's looking scary. Yeah, he looking like that. Yeah, man. It's looking scary out here, man. Real scary. Real scary, man. But I appreciate all y'all stopping through, man. We got to talk about the undocumented. I got to get some more stuff in, man. Me and Blacklight was supposed to get on Reacts a little bit later. We're going to figure out the time. But he want to get on a little earlier. But right now it's looking like Saturday. But I might have to burn the midnight oil and crush Destiny. I want to crush Destiny and Adam 22 one time before we do it on Reacts, because I know we're going to get in there and get them good. But I want to get them as well. But yeah, man, it's looking like we come to a close, man. I appreciate all y'all. He looks like the dude from Underworld, for real. He does. Yeah, man, but I appreciate all y'all coming through as usual, man. And I enjoy all y'all giving me some feedback and the funny jokes and all that, man. We got a new lingo out of this, man. The geefs. We got the geefs. So yeah, man, we got that about this, man. It was a good time. I appreciate all y'all. And I will see y'all, I don't know, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, y'all have a great day if I don't.